That is right, Melissa. Toledo police officers really gathering here, and officers from all over the area. We've seen as far as Dayton, Flat Rock, Michigan, so we'll see from either further away as we get closer and closer to that 10 o'clock beginning to the memorial service. We're joined now live by Oregon Police Chief Mike Navarre, who of course was police chief here in the city of Toledo for many years. Chief, thanks so much for joining us here. We know you went through this back in 2007 when Toledo Police Detective Keith Dressel was killed. You were chief back at this time. When you learned of Officer Dia's death early Saturday morning, did you immediately think of that?
Well, I thought of his family and what they must be going through, and I thought about the Toledo police family. I will tell you that you think about this happening, but there's nothing you can do to prepare yourself. It is so overwhelming when it hits you that one of your own has died in the line of duty. It's very traumatic, it's numbing. And that day, 13 and a half years ago, I can remember, from the time that the phone rang at 2:15 in the morning. I can remember every event of that day. It's just etched vividly in my mind. And it's just a very numbing experience, very overwhelming. And for the officers, it's going to be tough.
What do you tell them on a day like this? Obviously, you went through this with the funeral for Detective Dressel. What do they need to be told today?
Well, they need to take it one day at a time. These are very difficult times to be a police officer in this country. And to have this come during those same times is just, it's just too much. They need to take it one day at a time, think of the family, think of each other, forget about all the petty differences. I know there's a lot of talk about police reform in this country. In honor of Officer Dia, we need to unite. We need to agree to disagree. But we can improve. We can always improve, and this would be a perfect time for both sides of this issue to get together and to make some sensible police reforms.
And when you were going through this, Chief, 13 years ago, a lot of things were probably learned on the fly. What do you think worked out well to not only help the police department, but the family? Because they want to be there for the family as well. This isn't just a one-day event and then things are forgotten.
Well, Officer Dia's family just inherited a much larger family. And I can guarantee you that will not be a short term. That will be for the rest of their lives. They will not be forgotten. He will not be forgotten. He will be remembered different ways. Maybe they'll name an award. Maybe they'll name a street for him. But they'll be invited to events every year, and they'll become part of the family. And I think that we have to look at the good that can come of this. The community comes out in full support, and as they should. I mean, it shouldn't be because of a fallen officer. It should be because these officers go out every night and put their lives on the line to protect the streets of the city of Toledo and Northwest Ohio. We need support for police.
Police Chief Mike Navarre from the city of Oregon, thanks so much for joining us. And obviously the officers who are here for this service, many of them may be going back on duty today. And for those who are still working right now, they still know they have a job to do despite this grief that they're going through. Melissa?